Hello everyone, DonutLand back again. In a minute, I will be telling you my ranking of the 12 seasons of American Horror Story. But first, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. If you like it and or like this type of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's begin. American Horror Story was released on October 5th, 2011. It's a horror series filled with dark stories, and each season is something different with new characters and the same cast. I'll be ranking them all. Well, I'll be ranking all of them except for Double Feature and Delicate because I did not watch those. Make sure to comment down below if you agree with any of the topics I cover, or if you agree with my list, or if you want to comment your own list, that's fine as well. So, without further ado, here is my list. My number 10 spot goes to Colt. This is the 7th season of the series. I put it at number 10 because, to be honest, I didn't really care about the storyline. I remember it was about the 2016 election, like when Donald Trump got elected, and evil groups started rising and killing off people that didn't fit their quote unquote America. At least that's what I think it was about. Again, I wasn't really paying that much attention to it. However, I did like some of the jump scares that they had in it, like the one with the reporter and they snuck up behind her and they got her. I like that kill. But other than that, I didn't really care for this season. Next on the list, we have New York City, sitting at number 9. This is the 11th season of the series. This season focuses on the LGBTQA plus community in the 1990s, seeing the struggles they deal with through their lens. I would say I put this season at number 9 because it was okay to me. Like, nothing really exciting happened with the storyline for me. I feel as though they got so caught up in the story because it is a sensitive topic. If you watch the season, you know the topic what I'm talking about. And I just think they focused more on that. Like, I understand like it is a sensitive topic, so like bring awareness to it or whatever. Not or whatever, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Bring awareness to it. But I think in the American Horror Story, it was losing some of the horror aspect. Like I just didn't feel American Horror Story with this season. So, and then some parts of it just confused me. Most likely because I zoned out, but some parts just confused me and I didn't know what was going on. I don't remember half the season, so I'll just leave it at that. At number 8, we have Asylum. The second season of the show takes place at Briarcliff Manor in 1964. It's at our number 8 spot because I really enjoyed the storyline of Lana Winters and her son Oliver, also known as Bloody Face. As far as the other storylines, like with Kit and his aliens and the demon that was haunting the manor, I didn't really care so much for them. However, the best thing about this season to me, and my absolute favorite scene of the entire series, is in this season. It just overall this season just didn't interest me enough to make it higher on my list. It was just very it was kind of meh, like with New York City, but it was still more interesting than New York City. Next up, at number 7, we have Murder House. This is the first season of the series. It follows the Harmon family who move into Rosenheim Mansion, unaware of the spirits that reside there. I put this season at number 7 because I also thought this season was a little bit boring at some points. However, it was better than Cult and New York City. I love how they established the curse, or whatever it is, of where the spirits are trapped in a specific area. Also, the plot twist of Violet being dead. I mean, I saw it coming a little bit, but it was good overall. Like, how do you not know that you're dead? That's crazy. And the way she found herself, like, it was a good scene. Another thing I would like to mention is the variety of spirits trapped in the house. I would say, in my opinion, Murder House and Hotel have the most spirits, but the best backstories in them. Like, so much had happened in that house, it's crazy. It was even brought back. It was even brought back in season 8, Apocalypse, as the origin story of the main antagonist. His name was Michael Langdon, but we'll get into that later. Next up, we have Hotel at number 6. This is the fifth season. It is filled with murderers, demons, and vampires, taking place in the infamous Hotel Cortez in Los Angeles. It takes our number 6 spot because it is filled with decent sized cast. It has a decent sized cast, and each of their storylines were interesting and left the audience wanting to see more. I have to say that Lady Gaga killed in her role as the Countess. I don't much care for her music, but I love her as an actress. She needs to be in more projects. I really enjoyed how Hotel made the vampires a bit more human. And like obviously, yes, they need to drink blood to stay young and they're immortal. However, they're not the traditional vampire. They don't have fangs and they don't have like the super speed. They're running around breaking people's necks and stuff. No, like they're just really beautiful. And they can still die from like bullets or something. This was just a great season overall, but not good enough to get into my top 5. So let's continue. Freak Show follows, well, a freak show, a troupe of one of the last freak shows being threatened by a killer clown, and their fading popularity being sold to the highest bidder. This is the fourth season of the series, and it takes our number 5 spot. I really like this season. I personally feel like there wasn't too much going on. All of the storylines fit together perfectly, and the characters were aligning. I just really like the set and the costumes and the makeup. Like I really love the makeup on the killer clown. I can't remember his name. I'm gonna put the name of the clown on the screen, but I don't know why I love the makeup. It's just so scary to me, and the clown's backstory. Yeah, I just really love this season. It was just so well put together. But one negative thing I would say about it, I was expecting to get scared a bit more. It definitely had its moments of jump scares, but I just wanted more. But overall, great season. But there are 4 more that I like better. So let's continue. At number 4, we have 1984. This is the ninth season, and it follows a group of friends who become camp counselors and find themselves in the campfire of a killing spree. In the campfire? I said the campfire. LOL. It finds themselves in the crossfire of a killing spree. But campfire is on brand too. This season gets a lot of hate from all the people in my inner circle, my friends, the people I've watched it with. They say that it's just a parody of Friday the 13th and it doesn't have its own original story. But I guess like that's why I like it so much, because it is a parody. I think this season was made to be a parody. It was supposed to be like a parody of Friday the 13th and I Know What You Did Last Summer and other slasher horror movies. And I really enjoyed it. All of it meshed together. There was a lot going on in the storylines, but all of it just meshed together with me. Like it was kind of like, the movie Scary Movie. It was kind of like that, but just not as iconic. And one funny thing from it, I laughed every time Brooke, that's like our main girl, our final girl, Brooke, she found herself in trouble all the time. Like she was always almost getting killed, and when she was screaming about it, like nobody would believe her. Like it's just this season was just kind of funny, but also it had its scary moments, and it had action too. Like I don't know, I really liked it. But my top 3 are gold in my eyes. Number 3 is Roanoke. The 6th season of the show follows Shelby and her husband Matt Miller and the life-threatening supernatural events that they experience after moving because of Matt's tragic assault. I want to say that I love the way that they made it out to be a docu-series. At first I was watching it and I was thinking, what is this? Then I kept watching and I fell in love. It has so many jump scares. I remember one time I was in my high school study hall class and I screamed out so loud because of the jump scare of when the pig man was in the back of the car. I jumped so hard. Like I love this season so much because it had me verbally screaming out loud. Also, the lost city of Roanoke was one of my favorite topics in history class, and the fact that they incorporated it into the show, I was so ready. But one critique that I have, I would have wanted the whole season to be the docu-series instead of having them have the quote-unquote actual people go into the house. But I understand they had like to find a way to add the other actors and actresses into the story because they had a good cast. They had a good sized cast this season. But I'm confident to put Roanoke at number 3 because I really enjoyed this season. At our number 2 spot is Coven. This season surrounds a coven, lol, of young witches learning their newfound abilities along with the history of their kind. I love this season because it is filled with magic. I like seeing the girls figure out their own personal abilities, my favorite being Queenie's living voodoo doll powers. The Seven Wonders test was so fun to watch as well. This season not only gave us horror and action, but it gave us the history of witches and it references historical people such as Delphine Lalaurie and Marie Laveau. Not only does it touch the history of witchcraft, but it explores the history of voodoo as well. This is a 10 out of 10 season for me. That is why it is at my number 2 spot. However, nothing can compare to my number 1 spot. Here we are at number 1, Apocalypse. The eighth and, in my opinion, best season of American Horror Story is about a nuclear demolition that forces only the elite and high class into survival bunkers. And the witches of the Coven that I previously stated or previously mentioned fights against the Antichrist to save the world. This is my number 1 because this is basically Coven season 2. It has all my favorite things in it, from magic to suspense. I love how at first it seemed like a chill season, like it was going to lean more towards the psychological horror side of the fence. But when Mallory used her powers on Michael, I was like, oh yeah, it's about to get active. And then my witches walked in and stole the show. It was great. It did have its moments that made me feel a little iffy, like the whole Satan worshiping cult and all that. Like that just made me feel like, ugh, like a little off. But that's another reason I kind of like it because it's making me feel those feelings that I will expect to feel from a horror genre based show. Like I would like to be scared. I also like how they went back in time to Murder House to show Michael's backstory. That was really a nice touch to add to the show and to connect it to Murder House. Well, that is my order of least to favorite American Horror Story seasons. Overall, this is one of my favorite shows. Like I stated before, if you agree with my list or if you want to tell me your list, don't be afraid to comment down below. And if you do comment down below, feel free to like and subscribe as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Donut Land out.